no need to worry. I think there are certain courses, OAB level, these certification or diploma courses that Hello class, very good evening to all of you. How are you all? Am I audible? Hi Srividya, hello Nishant. Good evening Deepika. Yeah, I'm so sorry I got late. Actually, there was a power failure here and my Wi-Fi, this device, it just stopped. So it took some time to log in again. Yeah. So, okay, so as you all know that today is our computer class. I see we have a new student here, Abdul. Yeah, hi Abdul. I think you're new to the class, right? Hello, Subhash. Yeah, good to see all your names because I was missing this for the past 2 or 3 days and it was very difficult. Yeah, so Abdul, can you tell me what's your highest qualification? BTech. Oh, that's Vara. Abdul is in civil engineering. Okay. Yeah. So, class, No, Nishan, today is not reasoning. If you haven't checked the timetable, I shall tell you that for this week we had 3 days for reasoning, that's Monday to Wednesday, and then 3 days for computers, that's Thursday till Saturday. Okay? Yeah. So because I am dealing with reasoning as well as computers, so now English I am not dealing, and you need to check with the admin. And one more thing, people, I got to know that none of you is providing any feedbacks. Like when the class gets over, you get a feedback form. So I'd appreciate if you can just write whatever you want. I mean, any changes that you want in the way we are conducting the class, or anything like you can actually write it there instead of asking me in the class, right? That would be easier and time saving. So I'd really appreciate if you guys will make use of that form, and if you fill it up and submit. Yeah, yeah. So tell me, how many of you have gone through this IBPS notification this time? Okay. Is there anyone in the class who has not read the IBPS notification, or who is not aware of the exam pattern for IBPS PO3? So, yeah, please tell me anyone who does not know what all sections are would be there in this time IBPS PO3 exam. Yeah, anyone in the class? No, it's not same as last year. That's why I'm asking, right? It has come. It has changed a lot. Okay, okay, okay. I shall explain it to you. Uh, Okay, what happened the last year? There was an exam of 2 hours, which was divided into sections, right? So you had quant, you had reasoning, you had English, you had general awareness, and you had computers, right? And after this 2 hours, there used to be a paper of descriptive type paper of English, where you were required to write a letter or an essay, or and there was a short comprehension, I guess, for which you had to write a summary. But this year the pattern has changed. They since the first thing that has been introduced is it's going to be an online exam. All of you know that? Yeah. So first thing is, the first biggest change is they have scrapped out that paper and pen and approach, and now it's going to be an online exam of 2 hours, and they have scrapped out the descriptive paper. Okay. And they have, earlier what used to happen, all the 5 sections that I told, quant, reasoning, computers, general awareness, and English, right? They used to be of 50 marks each. Let me write it for you. 50 marks each, 5 sections. Yeah. Out of this 5 sections and 50 marks, English 50 marks used to be like when they finally used to evaluate, they would make it to 25. That is the number that you got out of 50, they would just divide it by 2, and whatever they get, that would be 25, because the descriptive paper of again there was a descriptive paper of half an hour. So that marks and this marks, I am not sure how they used to derive to the final score, but the weightage of English was less compared to the other sections, right? I hope most of you know this thing, though at least those who appeared last year, they must be knowing, right? Yeah. So what happened this year when they introduced the changes? They have scrapped out the descriptive paper that I've already told you, and they have rephrased, they have just changed the weightage of every section now, right? So earlier what used to happen, at least like the four sections, that is the English and all those, like sorry, not the English, the general awareness and this reasoning one, uh, sorry, general awareness and computers one, they used to be of 50 marks, but then this time they have actually reduced its weightage as well. I am just trying to find out the table so that I can write it for you. Um, just give me a minute. I think I can share it if it's possible. So basically what has happened is quant and reasoning is of 50 marks still this year, 2013. Quant is of 50 marks. Reasoning is again of 50 marks. Okay. Then general awareness, that has been dropped to 40 marks. English has been dropped to 40 marks, and computers is drastically dropped to just 20 marks. Did you guys know about this? I think you must have gone through this notification and you have seen this if you have applied for it. No, okay. You should have known this, right? Because the no guys, you know that the notification is out. I think every question 1 mark. This is the pattern that they follow, and they haven't mentioned anything about this. But uh, right, because for every right marks you will be getting 1 mark, and there is a negative marking, and 0.25 marks are deducted. So, so the number of questions should be again 200. I think then I need to check, because as far as I can think of, the I don't think they have mentioned any such thing in notification. And ideally, what happens is like every right 200 questions, 200 marks, and 120 minutes. That's 2 hours composite. So each question 1 mark, so you'll be getting 200. So in a way it is better. That is, earlier it used to be 250 questions and 2 hours. So they have dropped the number of questions, they have dropped the number of marks. But since as you can see, like there is a huge difference between the this markings of the sections. You'll have to be very judicial in your preparation, and not just that, you have to be very judicial at the time when you are attempting the paper, right? And the most important thing to note down here is they have this negative marking of 0.25 marks. which is something that should be people should be aware of, and they should try not to attempt anything about which they don't know any. Like if you have an idea, if you can if you have some idea about the question and you're not sure about the answer, it's like 50-50%, I'd say you should attempt it. But if you don't know it completely and you are just trying to make a fluke out of anything, attempt the question just based on fluke, I think that is not a correct approach, until unless you just see the paper and you think that you don't know anything in the whole of the paper. If guys, one thing is there, like what earlier used to happen last time, many of my friends who attempted it, what they did, they saw the paper, they they saw the paper, and when they realized that they don't know anything and they're not able to do, they marked whole of the paper, because in any case they were sure that they're not going to be selected. And out of the vendors, one or two guys, they I don't know how they managed to crack, right? So what I'd suggest is, if you think that you're not going to qualify at that time, you can attempt whole of the paper. But if you have very high probabilities, then I'd suggest you should refrain yourself from making flukes, at least blind flukes, right? Yeah. So as you can see, now let's focus on the topic. As you can see, the weightage of computers has drastically reduced, and it will be just 20 marks now. Right, right. It's important to, because this exam, it tests not just about your knowledge. There are many things. I find it very much similar to the MBA exams, the CAT ones, and what ZAT, CAT, or anything. They not just judge about your knowledge. They see many other things, like how do you work when under stress and all those things. See, just 2 hours, they pass like anything, right? And quant and reasoning, I'll tell you, like last year it was really tough, and if the same pattern continues, I'm damn sure if you are given just 2 hours to solve only one section, that is quant, on the all the 50 questions of quant, you won't be able to do in 2 hours. That's the level. So what they try to look is like, how if the person is getting if it's like getting stressed and the panic, and you need to be cool when you attempt the paper. I think last year quant was also tough. Reasoning and quant was difficult, reasoning was very difficult, and the rest of the sections were okay. Quant was say it was like compared to reasoning not that difficult, but yes, quant was also difficult. Not sure how many of you attempted. The level of question paper was like, it was difficult. I don't remember. I don't remember anything, right? It's just that but one thing that I remember is my core sections that I attempted. Sorry, Nishant. At this point of time, if you ask me the sections, the scores that I got in different sections, I won't be able to tell you that too. I completely don't remember. But then the thing that I knew was my reasonings skills. They were like compared to other people. I think I did fairly well, and yeah, quant was okay. I overall my paper was okay. I was not very happy, but then seeing other people how they performed, I was satisfied. Good evening, Charan. Hi. Hello, Raghav. So you guys are late joiners? Okay, no problems. We were just discussing about the pattern of exam this time, and you haven't missed out anything, right? So guys, about the computers. So as you can see that computers, it's drastically reduced to 20 marks. One of the probable reason that I can think of is because in IBPS exam what happens, like after 2008, let's say after the last recession that came in 2008, many BTechs, IT, CS and more, they started applying in banking more and more compared to other jobs, right? Because there was job crunch in private sectors, and obviously public sector is at least secure. It does not pay you that handsomely, but then you are secured, right? So uh, since then there's a trend. Many BTechs, MBAs, since most of you are here, right? They started applying, and computers is such a subject that everyone in today's world it's very important to have a knowledge about computers. And for banking, they don't require a very technically sound person. They what they want is you should have a gist of things. You should know what the basic things are, right? They don't want computer science engineers. For that they have some other openings. They have some specialist officer exams, right? This is for general banking, and they want you to be technically aware, not an expert, but you should be aware. And since many of the expertise in that field, they were applying and then they get selected, and they some of them they join too, and then afterwards they just leave, because of which there is huge shortage in banks, right? So I think they have decided to minimize its weightage. That can be one of the reason that I can think of. Probably there are some more that you guys can think. So maybe these are the reasons because of which it's comparatively less. So what all, now let's move on to what all things do we need to know in computers to attempt a banking paper. So class, uh, tell me, is there anyone in this class who haven't read about computer fundamentals, starting from your school to your graduation, or maybe most of your postgraduate? Is there anyone in class who has never read computers? I'm sure there shouldn't be any, because one of the educational qualification mentioned in IBPS is person should have at least read computers once in their lifetime. So still, if there is anyone, please tell me. Shikar, you have not. Please tell me your qualification. BA. So in your schooling, you haven't read computers? Okay, so I think then you need to go through this notification again, because it is one of the mandate. It's like one of the criteria, right? So I'd suggest you just go through it and check if you are eligible or not. And if you are not, if you haven't read, no need to worry. I think there are certain courses, OAB level, these certification or diploma courses that are conducted, right? You can enroll in some short-term course and you can get some diploma or maybe some certification that would make you eligible. Ideally, to attempt this paper, I don't think you would require whatever I'll tell you here. That should be more than enough. Right. Yeah, that's what you should have a proof, right? So I'd suggest you just enroll in any computer learning center like AppTech and NIIT. I'm not sure if they are still there. Opt for a you just check, you just check the notification and see like what's the requirement, and accordingly you can just get some certification, the shortest term certification that you can have, right? Because I'm sure if you are logged into system, you must be knowing about the basics. Is that so? I am seeing the notification right now, and I still see that they have this. Can anyone please confirm if it is a mandate of about computer? I am not sure, because Right now, I have this IBPS notification in front of me, and yeah, you should have a minimum knowledge of computers. So then I think we need to check it. Yeah, that's what, right? Yeah, they ask every time. I'm not sure. Like it was never a mandate, but this time when I check the paper, it is a mandate. So I'm not sure. Shikhar, you need to check it then. You need to check it with other people, and probably I'll go through the notification again and I'll update you then. For general awareness, okay, I think you'll have general awareness classes here, right? If you have enrolled. So that should be sufficient, and otherwise you get all the these magazines, these general knowledge magazines like Pratyogita Darpan and even Mahindra's. Actually, I for banking examination, I'd say like these are like keys. No, no, no. If someone has done BTech and all, you don't require, because in BTech what happens, Shikhar, in your first year, there is no specialization. First year is common to every branch, right? So in the first year itself, there is one computer fundamentals paper. So I'm not sure, like you can say that you have read in your school, but then they would ask you for the certificate, and if you haven't mentioned that computer subject in 10th and 12th, I'm not sure if they're going to accept it. And if you haven't read in your this graduation, then again, uh, so that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm suggesting you, Charan, for GA, do you see this news, DD News? Which news channel you follow? Okay, guys, this is very important. One thing that you should follow, like every news channel that people are seeing right nowadays, that's Aaj Tak, or see, I'm not like they are more, yeah, they are more of a sensationalizing news, right? So if you want exact news, relevant news, I'd suggest you should see DD News. In the morning at 8 a.m. they have this breakfast plus edition. It is for half an hour and you get all the relevant news there. Any certificate, I think, Srividya, right? So once you just regularly just try to see it in the morning 8 to 8:30. So yeah, I haven't followed TV9, so I can't comment on that. But I'd really support DD News. It's in a way really nice when once you are into habit of seeing DD News, you won't like seeing other channels. No, any see this breakfast plus edition of DD News. Mahindra is good as far as banking is concerned. If you are asking me solely about banking exam, I'd say you can get Mahindra's material, because the way they prepare it, it is basically for banks. Yes, you should have, for general awareness, you should have latest material. Just keep in mind that thing as well. You should have latest facts and figures, right? So you can go with any special edition of this Mahindra's for banking general awareness, or for that reason there is one more book. Let me remember. Let me try to recollect. Okay, Pratyogita Darpan has always been a good one, right? The problem is there are so much facts, how much you're going to retain. So for that reason I'm saying you start following DD News. Static part of GK as in Nishant? Right, Pratyogita Darpan is online, you can access it freely. History, geography, no, Nishant. Like banking examinations, they are not asking history, like questions related to geography can be in the with respect to current scenario. Say if there is some new land piece of land that like this Krishna Godavari basin, or say this Krishan Ganga treaty plant, like all these are the hot issues, right? Current affairs plus geography. So you can get a question from these sections related to geography in this way. For coming examination, can we start? See, for I think you get capsules, GA capsules. I'm not sure. I'll tell you the book names in case if you want. So they have compilation of last 6 months, last 1 year, any current happenings, right? So you can probably get one and just try to read it. That would be more than enough. Mahindra is also comes with this, and there's Wizard Chronicles, but they are Wizards and Chronicles. I think they are more relevant to civil service aspirants as compared to banking aspirants. For banking, you should have a different type of aptitude, right? To read GK and all. If you see the paper, the general awareness paper of banking and compare it with the UPSC, they are completely different. There is no relation. Banking is more of a factual, right? They would ask you say like there was a there's a satellite launch which has happened last week, right? Alpha Sat was launched, from which place it was launched, right? They can ask all those things. Then they can Snowden is a say it's a hot topic nowadays, all those things. So guys, I think we are diverting from our topic. Like, this is a computers class, right? So Charan, I think I'll be able to tell it to you tomorrow, related to banking specifically. So maybe I can address your query tomorrow, right? Right. We have a reasoning class next week, next Monday. Yeah. So let's get back to our topic now, that is computers. So as I've told you that this is reduced a lot, and the level of questions that is asked in computers, it's very basic level, right? At least all of you would be able to uh, clear it if you are clear about the basics of computers, right? So what I am going to deal with in computers is, I would be following, for all of yours information, I would be following Computer Fundamentals book by, her name is Anita, let me check her full name. So, Anita Goyal. Okay. And its publisher is Pearson India. Charan, actually, I would still say that uh, the level of question is such that they don't need an expertise in computers, right? So if you have a knowledge about it, that is not an expert knowledge, but let's say knowledge to operate it, you should be able to attempt it. This is what I feel when I see the paper. See, I would be a bit biased because I have been a computer science student. So for me, it's easy. I I'm not sure, like they like as there are some people who have not read computers as their specialization. So maybe there's a difference. But then for me, when I see it, I find it's basic level, right? So I'm not sure, Sharon, how comfortable are you with computers? as far as question papers are concerned. And yes, I agree, there is a loads of difference between operating a system and the questions that are asked in examinations, right? So I try to cover all those sections, the important ones at least for you, so that you are comfortable in attempting this section. I think no, they don't ask keyboard shortcuts now, but I'll deal with them as well. Last year, I think there was no question based on keyboard shortcuts. 2, 3 years back, I remember there used to be how would you do undo, cut, copy, paste, redo. But they are very easy if you use system frequently. This is something that's very common, right? But I understand, like if you are not a frequent user of system, and if you are not typing and like doing most of the things in computers, it might be difficult for you. So I'll deal with this as well. I'll tell you the keyboard shortcuts. So maybe if you're not comfortable, and if you are at a beginning level, I'd suggest you can get this book and clear your concepts. But as far as banking examination is concerned, I think it's more better if you can, instead of if you are clear with the fundamentals, it will be more advisable if you can just buy a book instead of MCQs, that is multiple choice questions based on computers. They ask for shortcuts but not related to keyboard. Let's say in power in MS Excel, right? If you want to do some operations, what should be the shortcut? They won't ask you like the system, like what you do in normal system, right? In Microsoft Word, if you want to search and replace and all those things. So that would be application software related shortcuts, and not the system shortcuts, because they are very less, and I don't think they're of much use compared to application software shortcuts, right? Yeah. So as I have told you that I would be following this book, and you guys can access it online, I'm not sure. Right. So today what I'll be doing is, as I've already told you that I would be dealing with this, I'll just go through its contents, what all things are there, and I'll tell you what all things I'll be focusing more much on. Right? Because computers fundamentals, it's a mixture of pure theory and some concepts. So I plan to cover concepts, as much as important concepts as much as possible I can in the class. And as far as the theory part is concerned, let's say history of computers, or for that reason, introduction to computers, why is computers used, and all those things, I think you all can go through it, right? Okay, we have a ping. I think she has already pinged about this. It's URL, right? Is this the URL for this book? Let me check. I need to check. I'll just check and I'll tell you if that's the book. One second, I'm just checking it for you, right? I'm not sure why your ping is not being copied in my system. I'm trying to use it. No, it's not getting copied. There's some problem. I'm not able to copy your chat. Someone has raised a hand. Rama Lakshmi. Are you there in class? Yeah, please tell me. Yeah, I think there's no problem in copying pasting from pings, but I'm not sure why is it not happening right now. So okay, let me try it once again. Yeah, it's done now. Thank you. There was no problems, Divya. I can copy it now. I'm just checking it. Right. This is the same book that I intend to follow. Are you guys able to access its contents online? Is this available to you guys? No, if you can just read it as well, because they are showing you contents, right? Just check if you can access all the pages, because generally in preview mode you would be able to access everything. And the worst part is most of the important things they would hide it. So you need to check if you are able to access it completely. Yeah. Hello Rajiv, how are you? Okay, I think Rajiv asked me a question yesterday wherein he asked me if like what should be the graduation date for applying in IBPS PO 3. Were that you, Rajiv? Did you ask the question yesterday? No problems, Rajiv. Yeah, so when I checked the notification today, I found that they have mentioned it that you should be graduated as an on 1st of July 2013. So those of you who haven't got the result till that date, I think you won't be eligible for PO3, right? But to be more accurate, please, I'd request you guys to go through this notification again thoroughly, right? Because I might be wrong. So just go through it, and because what I found, I am telling you here that it's mentioned there explicitly. So rest you guys can go through it, right? So I was telling you what all topics I intend to take thoroughly in class and what all things you guys would have to do it on your own. If you want, I can take it, but what I intend is firstly, okay, that's pretty cool. Then it would be really easy for you guys to go through it, right? That's fine. That's nice. So I think it's again back to 30 years. They reduce it to 28, but no, they have taken it back. No, I think it's 30 now. Yes, it's 30. This week itself, they rolled back their notification, and the criteria for age is rolled back, and I think this percentage, educational percentage of 60% mandate, that was also rolled back. Should they just check if it's still 60%? I think they rolled back it, right? Or earlier they made it, did they made it high earlier? Because last week I heard that they have the mandates of 60% and 28 years it's taken back. Yeah, 60% is also being done away with. So I'm not sure what it's 55% I think. And to be more accurate, you guys need to find it out. Okay, so is anyone in class having the current, the latest news about the cutoff mark? It's 60%, Raghava. Are you sure? So last week, what happened? Like, what all decisions were rolled back? I'm damn sure it was like the age was made to 30 again, and I am doubtful about this marking. So I think I'll check it because the notification it's showing me 60, but then I'm not sure. Yeah, that's what. Hello, I are you able to hear me, guys? All of you, please tell me yes or no. Yes, yes. So I'll ask Rajiv to refresh. Yeah. So Rahul, you are sure about what? As I'm sorry, I did not. It's not 60 and the age is 30. That's what. That's what they made. They made it last week, which is why I am not sure what is the current cutoff percentage cutoff. But I think it should be 55, back to 55 again. So let's see. So you guys applied for it or not? You're still waiting for the last day? Waiting? Okay. So what are you waiting for, Shikhar? Oh, okay. I'd suggest if you plan, you should apply as soon as possible because on the last days you would face server down issues and all. So it's better to be on time if you plan to appear this time, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, okay, then let me tell you all the topics that you guys that if you guys want, then I'll deal with it, but later on. But my focus would be on the important ones that I'll tell you now. So, we'll start with computer system hardwares. Okay, the first chapter, I believe all of you can go through it on your own. Introduction to computers. Is that okay? Yes. So I what I would expect it in my next class, that is tomorrow. You guys are gone through this chapter 1. If you face any issues, you are open to ask any questions, right? But I don't think there should be much problems. And since it's very theoretical, I and it's and considering the weightage of computer that is reduced to 20, I think this is the least probable topic from which you can get questions, right? Then computer system hardware, we shall deal with it. Computer memory is important one. We will at least go the about this different memories, cache, primary and secondary memory. We shall deal in detail, right? Static and dynamic and all those things. Then so for let's say in this section, then computer memory section like the CPU cache memory, primary and secondary memory, and storage devices. These are the important things that I would be going through in detail, and rest of the topics in this chapter 3, it would be just an overview for you from me, right? Then in chapter 4, input and output devices, again I'll cover everything, and it would be an overview because it would be more more of a theoretical thing, nothing to explain much, right? Chapter 5, data representation. This is something interesting, you guys would like it, and I think this would take at least 2 classes. Where in data representation, I'll be teaching you various types of representation that are followed in computers, that is binary, decimal, octal, hexadecimal, and all those things, their conversion, and then arithmetic, binary arithmetic, how the operations take place. Then also about the logic gates, which is something important and interesting. Then in computer interface, it's purely theoretical. I think you can do it yourself. Chapter 6. Is that clear, guys? Are you able to follow? Yeah. Then in operating system, I think I'll be dealing with the concept where I would be taking this management process, memory, file management, device management. These 4 things are important. They are conceptual. Otherwise, everything else is theoretical, right? So you guys have to go through protection, security, user interface, objectives of operating systems, and even types of operating systems and functions of operating systems. These are theories, and I would then in computer fundamentals, I'll be taking whole of this chapter because this is in a way important, logical and important. I have things to explain. It's not theoretical. Okay. Then data communication and computer network. This is one of the favorite topic. We have to go through it. We have no options. This computer networking is one of the hottest cake in every exam. If it is based of computers, you are sure to get at least 1 to 2 questions from this, and even more. So we have to deal with this networking in detail. Internet and internet services, it's purely theoretical. There is nothing much to explain. So I'll be going through in an overview mode, and I'll try to cover it in a way in which we will be dealing with MCQs. After an overview, we'll be dealing with the multiple choice questions based on this topic. Because instead of reading, I think it's better if you attempt it you via multiple choice questions, right? Then application and security, it's purely theoretical, but we'll go through an overview, nothing in detail. You guys have to read it on your own. Fundamentals of database, I shall teach you. Multimedia, again purely theoretical. Computer security, okay, I'll go through it because they can be questions related to virus, Trojan horse, and all those things, right? Firewall, digital signature, cryptography. It's a full-fledged stream in computer science. I'm not sure how excuse me, how are they going to cover it in just one section. And hello, am I audible to everyone? Please tell me yes or no. Charan, you need to refresh your page. Then then Windows XP. Okay, we shall deal with it again in an overview mode. But then this application softwares like MS Word, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint, and Access, I need to take it in details because they are very much asked in your examinations. Whether it is related to shortcut or anything, and they are utility softwares, you should know about them, right? They make your life easier. I'm sure all of you must have used it at least once in your lifetime, right? Network and internet connections, we need to deal with it. And latex, I don't think that is required. Chapter 21 is assembling a PC again. I don't think chapter 21 and appendix D, they are relevant, right? So I have shared the book which I would be following. I have shared the details. How would we be dealing with the paper, right? So any questions, anyone? Today was something like an orientation for computers. So guys, any questions you want to ask me today. Because from tomorrow we're going to start the class. And our aim should be, we should cover this theoretical aspect, I mean teaching things as fast as possible so that we have at least 5 to 6 class where we can together attempt MCQ questions. Right? Yeah, yes class. Nishant, it was an easy one for me at least. So I can't say how was it for average people, but since I have specialized in computer science, so it was actually easy for me. And yeah, I think actually I've never seen any person who is not able to clear the cutoff in computers section. Probably one of the reason is all the persons who are in my a group like whom I know, they have read it as one of the major subject in graduation. So, and this time, as you all guys are seeing, it's drastically reduced. So the basic idea behind is everyone is going to pass at least in computers, right? But then again, it becomes important to at least cross the cutoff, because if you fail in any one, it's no use. If you are getting marks above the cutoff, the overall marks above the cutoff, but if you're failing in any one of the section, you are failed, right? So first and the most important thing is we have to secure at least minimum passing marks in all the sections. Sirisha, I cannot predict at all because the paper has changed, and it should be definitely less, say 25%, 25% or 18. No, no way, it is not going to be 18 at any cost. See, out of 50, 24 or 25 is the marks that they say, which is a corrected mark. So I'm not sure what is the idea behind putting computers at 20 marks and how are they going to uh, correct this score. That depends upon maximum score, that is true, but then they have their, they always say that if a section is of 50 marks, 24 is passing, so that does not mean that you have got at least 24 marks. And yeah, you, if you want to predict, you can say I'd bet on, I'd say at least 10 out of 20, 50% is decent score. So maybe 10 out of 20 should be a good score for you to pass, and it should be something, right? Everyone should be able to score, right? So guys, anyone who wants to ask me any question, because I've extended the class by 5 minutes, but ideally it's just 4 minutes left for our session to end today. Yeah, any questions for me? Yes, no, please tell me. Index, I think index was available in the link that Divya pinged, I think, right? And I was telling about from that only. So what I want from you guys is you have to read on yourself chapter 1. I won't be dealing with it in class until unless you have any issues and if you want me to explain that, right? Chapter 2 I'll tell you, but no, but like everything that is something to be explained, I'll tell you. And what would be the score needed for a journal to clear the exam and get the place in a better bank? That depends. The thing is, there are various factors. The first thing is you have to clear the cutoff, which is I think for general the cutoff is 145, right? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Last year the cutoff general was 140 or 140, 145, I think. So what happens is, once you clear this cutoff, you will be called for an interview. Then you have to clear the interview, and in interview what happens is it's of 100 marks and 40 is the minimum score that you should have. If you're not scoring 40, at least 40 in a interview, then you are failed again. So once you clear both of them, you would be eligible for locking your choices, right? And yeah, there are chances of failing an interview. People, they are sitting, they are erratic, and I've seen many people, they failed an interview. That was, which was a surprise for me, but then yes, there are chances. And then based on your performance in your written as well as your interview, they publish your overall marks. And then you are allotted the bank, like everyone would apply on all the banks, all the 14 or 15 banks enlisted, and based upon like the number of candidates and everything, they would release the first cutoff where they would tell you what all banks you are allocated, and if you're not in that list, then they would wait for, let's say, 4 to 5 4 I think 2 to 3 months, then they release the second cutoff where the next lot of people they get. So in various iterations they do it. And as far as better bank or good bank is concerned, I think almost all are same, because the pay scale is same. You might get some facilities in one and other facilities in another bank. So, but yes, there's based upon the banking business and all these ones, PNB and all, they are definitely they are better than one, like for me I would say corporation bank is again a good one. One of the reason being they don't have much rural branches, right? So you don't have that fear of being transferred into any rural area compared to other banks. So it depends on your like what's your priority. Based on that you have to judge which is the best bank for you, right? Private banks, yeah, private banks are good, but I don't think they accept this IBPS score. As far as ICICI Bank is concerned, I think they have their own exam process, right? So uh, I am not sure about like private banks how they recruit. Yeah, ICICI Bank they conduct their own exam, and other banks, as far as other banks are concerned, I think they would be hiring people from campus and all those things. Even ICICI Bank also hire people going to campuses. And yeah, Axis Bank, let's say Axis Bank and all, they go to MBA colleges and they hire people from there. Okay, they have asked to fill in the preference of banking. Okay, while applying, that is something surprising, because last time what happened, we were asked to fill in the this choices after we got our final marks. Okay, IBPS depends upon, but then sorry, Axis Bank they hire MBAs also. They go to MBA colleges as well. And I was not knowing that they are using this IBPS score. Thank you, Raghav, for telling me. ECGC, yes, they have very limited seats. As you can see, like last time, what happened? They were just 30 seats, I think. So yeah, it's as I said, if it is a government job, hardly matters wherever you are. You are a government servant, and there wouldn't be much differences in the perks and the incentives that you get. It'll be mostly depending upon your location, whether you're in a rural posting or an urban posting. Your emoluments would be depending on that. And any suggestions? I no suggestions. See, it depends on like the best thing is you have to first find out what is your priority. If money is your priority, or if posting is your priority, and all those things, right? And then that like just checking all those, firstly you have to check your priorities, and based on that you have to order the banks. But there are certain sites, I think, they who give the order of preferences. So if you want, I can just find it out and I'll ping it to you guys tomorrow. But for me, as far as I think, all the banks are same. What the difference in salary that you would see would be maximum 2 to 3 thousand difference. So hardly matters. Yeah, but there is one thing that is that can be again considered. That is certain banks, they're having a bond, right? So you need to take care of that. If there's a bond and it's if it's of 2 years and all, and if you are quitting a job before that, then you have to fulfill that. So that is one thing you can take care about. Enhanced salary for POs, it is, I think, after all deduction and all, you should get around 24 to 25K per month as a PO. PO scale 1. Clerk, say 18K. 18K should be an average salary for in all the banks for clerk, I think. Sirisha, I'm not the right person to answer this, right? Because if you're in a banking job, until unless you're into some state cooperative bank, I think State Bank of Hyderabad you can choose, then that is a subsidiary of State Bank of India, right? I'm sure they are not going to throw you out of AP, but then if you are into any other nationalized bank, uh, see, it depends. Like once you are hired, one more thing is there. The like once you are hired, you have to make your contacts. Once you are into any job, right? So many a times, all these things, your contacts and all those things, your interpersonal skills and all, they also play a major role in your posting. Yeah, you need to do research. Cooperative bank. Okay, SBI PO is again Nishant. It's again like an IBS exam. SBI has its six subsidiaries, and they conduct their exam on their own, and they don't accept the IBPS marks. But yes, it's again nice one. It's a nice exam, and I think you guys must aim for it if you aim to be in banking sector. You have better enrollments compared to other banks as like I think State Bank of India, it offers you more privileges. As far as I know, even your medical, if you are buying a tablet of 10 rupees, that would also be reimbursed. Cooperative banks, yeah, they are rural banks, so the problem is your posting would be mostly rural, but otherwise they are good. Yeah. So guys, any more questions, or I think you have your class at 8, right? Yeah. So if you all are done, then we shall wind up this session. And for tomorrow, I want all of you to go through chapter 1, and please just mail me if you guys have any problems. Mail me during day so that I can look into your issues and I can address it in our class, right? Otherwise, I would be dealing with chapter 2, and if you tell me that you have some problems with chapter 1, then I would be able to attend it in next class only, right? I shared it, right? I shared my email ID in my very first class. Okay, let me share it again. This is my email ID, and when you send me any email, please keep this as a subject. So no problems. You can send me an email on Yahoo. No problem, Shikhar. You can go through the recorded sessions. So Rahul, if no problems, if you are in your Gmail, you can still email to anyone in the world having any domain, right? So class, should we wind up the session now? Yeah. So, okay then, I'll take your leave and I'll see you all tomorrow. Just try to go through chapter 1, and in the meantime I'll also suggest you should be very religious about reasoning, because you are seeing reasoning is would be a very an important and crucial player this time. So please try to attempt some of the questions of reasoning every day, at least for 30 minutes. Even if you attempt one or two questions, that would be more than enough, but then you should be doing it religiously, right? Okay then. Bye bye. Have a nice class ahead. I'll address your question tomorrow, Rahul. Yeah. So I think you'll be late for the next class. Yeah. Preferential order. Okay, this I shall do that for you. I'll paste the preferential order that is being suggested in some of the sites. Yeah, that would not be my view, but then that would be a generalized view. Yeah, and for any queries, you should contact the admin here. Admin are really helpful, and for any other queries, you please use the feedback form which is given to you after the class, right? I really appreciate that. Yeah. Okay then. Bye bye.